welcome back, everybody. This is Gage, and
This is Justin.
we are coming in with a second episode today. So, if you find yourself riding that thin line of wanting to turn off the news but leave your brain on, we have some hard hitting topics that are low stress and easy to digest. So, sit back. Justin, what do we have today?
So today our topic is going to be farmers markets.
Ooh.
Yeah, so are they good? Are they bad? What is a farmers market for some people? Some
Sure.
people may not know.
Yeah.
I don't know a ton about farmers markets. Who sells things at farmers markets? Are there different types of farmers markets?
Yeah. Who's buying them? Who's buying
yeah.
things at farmers
Yeah,
markets?
who shops at farmers markets?
Right.
Should they be even more accessible?
No, Justin, I'm wondering, what are your credentials to be speaking about farmers markets?
Oh, absolutely nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to one?
I've been to several.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you
But-
say less than 10?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, okay, less than 10 different ones. I've been
Okay.
to a farmer's market more than 10 times.
Okay. All
if
right.
that makes
Well,
any
that's
difference.
about as twice as much experience as I have.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Very rarely.
That's
So, I guess let's start with the definitions. I guess a farmer's market in my mind is a bunch of people who don't mind crappy weather, being outside selling stuff that for like, I guess they can't get it on shelves, or they just like produced at their own home.
Yeah. So to me, it's like it's what it says it is. Like, it's a farmer's market. Like, at least that's how it started. I
Right.
think they've gotten a lot bigger, and there's a lot more vast,
Right, 'cause-
a lot more diversity in product at farmer's markets
'Cause
now.
farming almost implies, produce, which there usually is,
Yeah,
right?
there's usually
Fresh
a lot of
vegetables and
produce,
things.
yeah.
But the couple I've been to, I'm also, I'm seeing some jewelry, I'm seeing some homemade soaps,
Yeah.
things of that nature.
Yeah, and so they almost ride the border of like a craft fair too, like
Right.
a mix.
Right.
Like I've been to one. There's like food trucks, and there's coffee, there's candles, like there's
That's a lot of fun.
yeah.
Okay, so for the listeners that might be in major cities, but do have access to the internet, kind of imagine Etsy, but like with cantaloupes.
You might be able to get cantaloupes on Etsy. I mean, I don't know that.
All right,
but-
if you can get cantaloupes on Etsy, we're canceling all farmers markets. There's no more reason to go to them.
So my biggest thing though, right, is like I think farmers market have they open an amazing opportunity for the people selling, and also for people that live close enough to shop at them. I mean, you're getting crops, you're getting product that's going straight from potentially, straight from someone's backyard, someone's garden, directly into your hands. And I think that that's really cool.
Right, so
skipping
it's-
every middleman.
Right, so it's nice that small mom and pop type places
Yeah.
can kind of just jump into the market. Right, you don't need I'm not even sure if they use a business license, but you just kind of go at no brick and mortar. Right, you don't need a building. I mean, in my opinion, probably shouldn't even file it on your taxes. Right, that can only help.
I mean, it gives all of those people a really good opportunity to sell a product without any of the red tape.
Yeah, so Justin, if you were going to participate in a farmer's market, what product would you sell?
Oh man, aside from like just charming good looks and things like that.
Yeah, obviously, people would pay to just stand and look at you.
Of course they
But
would,
if you're
yeah.
going to sell a product,
I think, given my fiance's coffee,
right.
coffee stuff, I would probably do coffee. If not coffee, I would probably do, weird answer here, but basil, because basil
Whoa.
grows anywhere,
basil grows
and
anywhere.
it's really easy to grow. Yeah.
Wow. You think you could like grow it in your house, like on the windowsill?
Yeah. Well, if I was going to sell it at a farmer's market, I'd probably have to plant some like in the backyard, because then
Yeah.
you'd need more than just a windowsill amount.
That's true. I guess you could do
So-
like a personal use only basil.
Well, I guess what I mean more specifically
windowsill.
than, or not more specifically, but more general than basil, is like just herbs, right? I think it'd be cool to sell basil, thyme,
Parsley.
rosemary, parsley. Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool.
Okay.
Assuming, now, mind you, I know nothing about growing almost any of those except for basil.
Yeah.
So,
All right. You have pretty specific knowledge on basil.
well,
It
Caitlin's
seems
grown
like.
some basil in
Oh,
her
really?
days. Yeah.
So, for the people who don't know us personally, which might be the only listeners, Justin's fiance Caitlin has a very successful coffee page called Caffeinate with Kate.
Yeah. She sells coffee at events and it's fantastic.
So she would flourish at a farmer's market.
Yeah,
you know
it'd be
one.
great.
You know one thing I think might be required aside from the just having a product to sell to participate in one. I think might be like flannel, especially for young white women. I think that
Yeah,
just wearing
you
like
have to be wearing flannel.
yeah, but like a t-shirt with like a cute oversized flannel on top of that.
So just to give you a little more insight than what you might have on farmers markets.
Okay.
So the one that I've gone to the most is here in Springfield.
Right. Okay.
And I forget what it's called. I think it's like Farmers Market of the Ozarks or something like that.
Sure.
But how it works is all of the vendors, they have to pay a percentage of their sales to like the farmers market, like the organization that puts it on.
Yeah.
But another cool thing is you buy tokens, farmers market tokens. So you go and you like buy $20 worth of these tokens, and it's an even exchange, and then you can use those tokens at any of the vendors
To like get
in
their
the farmers
product.
market. Yeah, because not all vendors will accept card or
Okay,
whatever the
yeah,
case may be. So they
right.
make it to where you can use card or cash, get some tokens, and then you can just buy whatever, like kind of like at a carnival or something.
Yeah. Yeah. This feels like kind of like David Buster's for vegans. Right? It's like you get your little punch card
David Buster's for vegans.
and you can go use it at
Yeah,
any arcade that you want. Just
Minus
slide
the
it.
minus the games, the entire idea of Dave and Buster's. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so aside from every other detail about David Buster's. Okay.
Dave and Buster's Farmers Market coming to a town near you.
Yeah, shout out to DB real quick. That
Yeah.
place is the shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we're sponsored by them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're sponsoring the podcast. We have our people reaching out.
Yeah.
Our best men on the job.
So question.
Yeah.
So here's the question, right? What do you think about farmers markets? Like, what is your impression?
I think that I've been to a couple, and the thing that always drives me nuts whenever I go is that the people with their booths, they've put so much time and energy into whatever it is that they're crafting or selling, and then they get there and maybe they make a couple bucks that day, and it just feels like this overwhelming kind of pressure to purchase their product. It's
Really?
like whenever you pull up to an intersection and there's a man of the streets there, maybe a homeless gentleman, and he has a sign that's just like asking for $1, and you're the only car at the intersection, and he's just watching you parked there, in your $22,000
like your $6
yeah,
Starbucks.
exactly, yeah, yeah, and he's just like, yeah, I just need food to live, and you're like, sorry, I just don't have cash
I
because
spent all my money on Starbucks.
yeah, right. So I just came from a farmer's market, so I have linen scented soaps, but I don't have. So I mean, that's kind of my experience. The thing that makes me uncomfortable about going to them is that people, it's just like, hi, this is my whole life. Would you like to do this?
So I will say this. I don't know which farmers market you've been to. I'm guessing maybe a smaller one.
I've been to the one that you're referring to, the Springfield
You have
one.
been to
I've
that
been
one.
there,
And that's where you felt that pressure?
I felt a little bit of pressure there. I will
Really?
say less so than, because I think I've been to two.
Yeah.
And one was in a much smaller community in Rolla, and there was an immense amount of pressure there.
Which I get, because it just surprises me that you say that there was pressure at the Springfield one, because every time I've been, it's like packed. I mean, there's people everywhere. All the vendors, and most of the vendors there, from my experience, like you walk past, like they're not out, snatching people like a Bass Pro Shop for your,
Right.
vacation rental or something.
Right.
Like they'll talk to you if you maybe come into their like section or something. But
Or if you have questions, obviously they'll help address you.
But I mean, they are there to sell things, But
Yeah.
I've never really felt pressured to buy.
I think so. I guess a big part of the farmers market is it really is a community event, and I don't think that we should discount how much the community you're in factors into how good the quality of the market is.
Yeah.
In a small community where you have 4 vendors and 3 of them are selling basil, and so they're like, well,
I will say I
rough
don't
thing.
know this for sure, but I think that I don't want to say there's limitations on it, but I think there is a little bit of a check and balance system when going into a farmer's market. Like if you're like, oh, I sell coffee, well, they'll be like, well, just so you know, we have 3 other people that sell coffee.
Yeah.
I think there may be some sort of, I won't say deterrent, but like,
Maybe. I think at that point you're like, okay, well, I would have to undercut not only 1 but 2 people,
Yeah.
and at that point I'm getting dangerously close to not making any money. So there's just not a market for a 3rd coffee vendor here,
Yeah.
and then that kind of deters you naturally. The market kind of pulls you away. But yeah, so I guess it is kind of self-regulating in that way, that unseen.
I think the reason I really like farmers markets, and I kind of wish that they were more prevalent and more of a thing, is really just that skipping all the middlemen, like going straight from the people producing, straight from the people that are making the product to the hands of the consumer. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, I think America was built on that. I think it was really cool.
Well,
I think that's a really cool thing.
I think to some extent, in a less organized fashion, civilization was built on that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
very much.
Now,
so.
of course, we use a currency, right? There's money involved. There's, the exchange of money, and so it's not a direct barter system, like some old
you walk
cultures
into Walmart,
were.
I'll give you $1 for this turkey. That's not how it works.
That's not how it works. Yeah, but yeah, even like like the trading of products, right? So like, I will give you a goat for all of your parsley, and then suddenly you have a goat you have to take care of. Like it's not a direct, so there is the money acting as kind of the intermediate.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I mean, this is really how civilizations have got. I mean, this is how people were doing this in Egypt, before the pyramids were around.
I just love how fresh this stuff is because, like, there's just nothing that compares to, like, if you go to a farmer's market and, buy some tomatoes, like, they're just so much better than, like, Walmart or wherever you can buy tomatoes.
And I get what you're saying. Personally, I really like the GMO taste that Walmart offers. I think that, it's like I want some tomato, but mostly I want Monsanto. Like I want to.
Oh my god!
I want to taste the bug killing chemicals.
I want them to kill me.
I want to die. Is the point?
Well, I will say, the reason skipping the middleman is such a big thing is because, like, I mean, your father-in-law, for example, has he told you the story of the apples? Why he doesn't get apples from the grocery store anymore?
Probably.
Well, I guess basically what happened was a trucker that transports them told him one time that in transport, to keep them shiny and fresh, they literally would spray antifreeze on the apples because it would like coat them and keep them shiny and fresh longer, and they wouldn't go bad as soon. So he just cold turkey was like, well, I'm not buying produce anymore from
Right. Well, I think, rule number 1 of being an adult and eating fresh foods is to wash it before.
And that's true.
Except for chicken. PSA, don't wash your chicken. It's fine. Sorry.
Why is it?
Well, I mean, you know what? Write this down. We're going to come back to washing chicken. Before you
I didn't even know that was a thing.
So
A lot
of people will take chicken breast and wash it and like rinse it off in the sink before they eat it. Yeah, a lot of people do that.
I mean, I guess it's fine, but
it's not fine. It's
not. All right.
No, it's not. You're an idiot, and you're gonna get people killed. That's the kind of misinformation people are tuning out to come to us. So don't spread that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. If I were to sell a product at a farmer's market, I think, gosh, I don't know, because I don't create anything, I don't produce anything, so I think I'm really shit out of luck here.
I guess farmers market's just not for you, man.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I'm a psychiatric nurse. I guess maybe I could put up a little booth and do psych evaluations for $6 a pop.
Yeah, man, you crazy.
Yeah.
That'll be $15. Thank you.
The trick is every time somebody lists a symptom, you just go, same. Yeah.
That joke gets real old on the unit.
I'm really sad. Yeah, same.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like that.
Okay, Gage. So moment of truth.
Okay.
What would you rate farmers markets? 1 through 5.
1 through 5. 1 through 5.
5 being like they're amazing, like they should always exist, they should always be there.
Right.
Everyone should go to them.
Like, why aren't we at a farmer's market right now?
Exactly.
Is a 5.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 3. I think that they're a good option for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think it's nice for the producer to, like you said, go straight to the consumer, put a little cash in their pockets. I think it's good for consumers. I mean, they can find sometimes really fresh vegetables, sometimes some kind of weird shit. I mean, that's just true.
Yeah.
Right? So like people make strange stuff and sell it in person sometimes.
Like a dude making like strictly rabbit bone knives.
Oh my God, would I love a rabbit bone knife. Talk about things I didn't know that I wanted. Yeah.
Just saying, man.
Right. Yeah, so that's something I would buy on the spot. And that's the kind of stuff that you're not going to find at Target. I'll say that. I've looked at the rabbit bone section and there's no knives up there.
Fresh out.
They
are fresh out at Target.
So
3.
So I'm gonna go 3. I'm gonna go 3 overall. You don't have to go to one. I don't go to them. I'm not gonna go to one soon. But sometimes I go to a restaurant and then I kind of forget that there's a farmer market near there, and I'll just go to one while I'm waiting, and that's nice.
There you go.
I'm going 3.
I think I'm gonna give it a 4.
Whoa.
Because I think, well, first of all, I think there's nothing but benefits to them. Like, I can't think of anything really negative about them. Like, they're just a prime example of the free market. I mean, it's just great. Like, everything about it is just like, oh, I have this product, I'm gonna go sell it, and it's gonna, it's fresh. Like, and I gotta say, like, the coffee, the vegetables, the fruit, the desserts, everything I've ever purchased from a farmer's market has been, I mean, bar none, better than anything I bought from a store.
Wow, that is a big endorsement.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, it's so much more fresh. That's
true.
It's homemade.
Right.
Now, as far as it sitting on your cabinet or sitting on your countertop for more than a few days,
right?
Probably not great. They're gonna die pretty quickly, but
because it doesn't have the antifreeze.
Exactly.
So whenever you guys can antifreeze your own produce, by the way, you don't have to just rely on Big Apple to do that. Big Apple. The big orchard industries to antifreeze your stuff. You can do that DIY.
Anyone can antifreeze their produce.
That's right, and that's what we want you guys to learn. Don't antifreeze your chicken. I'd rather you antifreeze your chicken than rinse it off in the sink before you cook it.
Wow, because then at least you'll die, and then you'll never do it again.
Exactly. you won't be able to convince other people to rinse their chicken.
All right, we're going off the rails here. So I'm a 4 out of 5. I think they're great. I think farmers markets are fantastic, delicious.
You bring strong arguments, Justin, and I respect you for them. Guys at home, we are putting up an email address soon.
Yes.
And so part of what I think we should do at the end of every episode is, if you have a hot take on it, if you what's your take on farmers markets? What would you sell? So let us know, and then we will circle back and maybe do a minute or two.
Yeah, we'll respond or we'll address them in one of the episodes or something.
Good. And if it's a good enough point, if it just completely blows our mind, maybe we'll do a part 2.
Yeah, or if it just derails everything we said because they know way more than us, which is very likely.
Oh, it's so likely.
Like, we get an email from Farmers Market of the Ozark, at Hotmail, because they're behind the times.
Right.
Yeah, and they're just like, actually, completely off base. Farmers markets suck.
There's one guy that owns the whole market. He's a tyrant.
It's a slumlord.
Right. Like, he's just a fascist, and we live under a fear state. Yeah. So that seems unlikely. If that is your email, don't email us that, because it's too sad for us to know. But if it's fun stuff, email us fun stuff. Oh my gosh. We haven't named the podcast yet.
Yeah, we're working on it. It's going to be something silly.
We have a couple ideas floating, and I think we're kind of finding what we are first before we want to,
title it.
Yeah, like we're
not Facebook official.
No. Like, what do we identify as? So we're gonna figure that out, and then we'll pick our pronouns. So, I mean, metaphorically, obviously.
You're the worst. You're the worst. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.